What's up, everybody? Give me a couple moments while I share that we are live. I'll be right with you guys in a couple moments. All right, what is going on, everybody? What's going on, Necro Hero? What's going on? And so let's get into it here. Going to live stream the watch list for tomorrow. So look at some of these lines here, looking at the futures chart, and what do you know? Still smack dab in the middle of this symmetrical triangle. And you can see price is now holding angular support with this hammer right off that pink line, which is the 50 SMA. And now you have the 9, the 13, and the 20 above. So we shall see if it's going to continue upwards or if it's going to hit resistance and reject. So we got to watch, right? Got to watch this. Again, symmetrical triangle in this complete and total yo-yo effect. Choose a direction already. It's still being stubborn, but as you can see, look at this. This past week or so has just been nuts. Falling down, up, down, still holding that blue line, which is, again, angular support with a green hammer. So that's potentially encouraging. If it can get above these moving average lines, well, we got to watch and see. So let's build a watch list for tomorrow. People did seem to like the GBR today, so we will take a look at that and see if it's going to go on the watch list for tomorrow. So we'll start off with RSYS. Again, we're looking for stocks that either held their highs on the day or held their lows for potential continuation up or continuation down. This one right here, it's kind of got a hanging man candle, so I don't like that. GBR. Let's remove the drawings. I mean, this one just crazy today, all the way up, pulled right back down. You know, it's just crazy, huh? The volatility on this is crazy. Just gets nuts to kind of rechart this and see if it's going to go on the list. After it's done this, I kind of don't like to have it on another day. You know, this understandable once it goes all the way up to like 1275 and drops all the way down like this. Can it still continue? Yeah. I'll just wait and see tomorrow if it comes on something like trade ideas. So we shall see. Sure, go ahead, Mina. What's your question? CEI kind of has a doji candlestick, not liking that one. ADMP, high wave candlestick, not liking that one. SAEX kind of popped up and then just kind of dumped at the end of the day. Has a head and shoulders, so not liking that pattern. MXC, this might be a 5-cent spread stock, so let me see. Oh, maybe not. All right, so we might take a look at this one. So this one had a pretty good sized breakout here today, all the way up to $9. Has pulled back to around 850-ish area. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. It's at weekly highs. Some resistance right around probably $10 here. So this one might have some potential continuation. So let's see, $9 has to get above $9 for some potential continuation. So at this point, we'll put it, again, has to get above $8.25 as well. So we'll see if it's got a sympathy day. Again, broaching overextended, but a lot of times when a stock breaks out like this, it might have a second potential day of continuation. So let's put that one on the watch list for MXC. Let's put it. Watch for potential continuation day with resistance between $9 to $10. That's MXC. So Amina has a question: how had ADMP closed 320 before weekend, and today pre-market jumped straight to 530 at 6:30 a.m. So right here. So this right here, let me remove the drawings. Let's go right back here. So this is what happens pretty much almost all the time, every single day in the stock market, especially with these small caps. You get no pattern right here, and then news hits in the pre-market. So you can see today on the 2nd here, soars after ADMIS, or whatever the name is, stock soars after commercialization partnership for EpiPen announcer announced. So pretty much it's a lower float, not low float, but it's a stock right here that has news, right? It's got news in the pre-market. Once the news hits in the pre-market, obviously let the race begin, and so that's where it gaps up, right? So stock gaps up based upon news that happens in the pre-market, and then hence the volatility, right? So that's what happens pretty much every single day. How could you have caught that move before it happens? Well, you really kind of can't, unless you know kind of when a company is going to release the news, right? You could have maybe said, oh, okay, this stock's holding a bottom right here, maybe gotten in, but I mean, I wouldn't have traded it. So these are stocks, these small cap stocks are stocks that you pretty much, you're day trading them. You're going to see these stocks, they pump and then they dump, pump and they dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, and then it'll probably dump. This is not some great looking stock. I don't know anything about it, but the chart's really messy. So if you want to kind of catch news before it happens, that's, I don't know of a way to predict news before it happens. You have to look at the charts, look at the technicals, and as you can see, this, you know, gaps up pre-market, and then what does it do when it opens? It just pretty much dumps. It happens all the time in the stock market. Wish I had a better answer for you, but this is day trading, right? Day trading is people turn on their scanners like Trade Ideas in the morning, or have their actually have their scanner like a Benzinga. Again, we promote Benzinga and Trade Ideas. Both the links are below. So you catch news when it hits the news wires like Benzinga. Buyers come in, which creates volume. The volume hits the Trade Ideas scanner, and the scanners pick it up, and then obviously you have to learn how to be able to trade these patterns. If you're new, Mina, or anybody else watching, take our free courses on our website, bullishbears.com. This will help you how to basically learn trading, candlesticks, patterns, all that good stuff. I wish there was a quicker way, but to explain it, but basically learn trading, learn support, learn resistance, get a good could you buy it at 6:30? Sure, but we highly encourage do not buy anything pre-market unless you know how to trade. We hardly ever buy anything pre-market at all, and we understand how to trade. So, you know, take that as you will. You have to be very careful. The volatility and the craziness pre-market is very difficult. So do not buy anything pre-market whatsoever unless you know how to trade. Very simple. All right, so let's get back into the watch list. RRTS. All right, so this one we're going to take a look at right here because it's broaching right around that 290. What is this here? All right, so it's holding its highs on the day, which we like to see. We want to see some potential continuation upwards. Needs to get above $3. And if gets above $3, it's got some room to run to right around 350-ish or so. So this has got some room to run. Has an inverse kind of head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, kind of a right shoulder, potentially getting set for a breakout above $3. So this is a pattern we like to see. So let's do this. Inverse head and shoulders on 1 hour. Watch if price can get above $3 with resistance around 350 after that. So inverse head and shoulders on the hour, or kind of a cup, maybe handle, but left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline extends up. Watch if it can get above $3 with resistance around 350-ish or so, right up there after that. That's RRTS. And Donnie says, and once you get into a stock pre-market, it can be hard getting out, not enough volume. That's very true as well. Spreads get wacky. Again, you know, you can trade in and out pre-market, but you know, many times when the stock pumps up pre-market, it's dumping at market open, and you have to get in like super quickly. Like if you're going to get in super quickly, and then sell probably towards the top of pre-market. That's a whole other strategy. Again, if you're new, we highly suggest don't trade pre-market again unless you really know how to trade. You can get very trapped. This one right here, BLFS, broke out. It's kind of an indecision candle right now. Not sure how I feel. Let's see about this one. A little bit overextended. Yeah, I'm not liking this one right now. So this one right here, PAVM, it's got some resistance right around that 121 marker going across here. Let's look at the daily. The daily might be forming a reversal, but then it's got this resistance right between this 122 to 127, a little too close to resistance, but maybe trying to pinch and let's see. And this is a low floater. This is one again. So these are the ones you might want to try to catch ahead of time. So it's not looking like much. You can see the moving average lines are pinching. A lot of volume at the end of the day. If this thing can get above that 127 marker, might be one to keep an eye on. I'm going to put this right at 127. So I don't really love it, but this one, again, with these low floaters, you can see they pump and they dump, pump and they dump. This one may be getting set up for a pump, so that's why I would keep an eye on it. So let's do this. Let's do this. Right, where'd it go? There we go. May be setting up for a pump. Watch if price can get above 50 SMA around 127. So it might get a pump if it can get above that 50 SMA around 127. Needs to get, again, these are pump and dumps, these small cap stocks, right? So looking to see if it's setting up potentially for a pump over that 127. All right, so let's look at the hourly on ACAD. It's getting above that black line, which is the 200 SMA. It's got some potential room to run here. It's got a double bottom here, bottom here. Might have some room. That 1715-ish area. It's 1750. Let's look at the daily chart here again. Zoom in. Let's remove this drawing. Kind of a, yeah, so you can see a double bottom on the daily. Want to see if it can get above that 1750-ish marker as well, right around there. So 1713 to 1750-ish. So a double bottom might be setting up for a reversal. So what is this again? Let me go to the hourly and see it a little bit clearer. Right between the 1715 to 1750. Kind of bull flagging here. So double bottom on 1 hour. Watch for resistance between 1715 to 1750-ish. ACAD. So as you guys can see, we kind of pick some you know, a lot of these stocks, you know, on our watch list, they pump up, you know, like, you know, if you look at our trade alerts results on our website, right over here, if you just read our weekly updates, you know, our daily watch list at minimum goes up 10 cents a day. Many of the stocks go up, you know, 30 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents, $1. So those ones, like, you know, we're getting 40, 50, 60 cent movers. If you can scalp 10, 15, 20 cents on those, you'll take that all day long day trading. You know, if you buy, you know, 1,000, 2,000 shares, that's anywhere from, you know, a couple hundred, you know, to $400 or $500 day, depending on what size positions you guys buy, right? If you bought 5,000 shares, you know, that's between a $500 to $1,000 day, right? If you had bought 5,000 shares and a stock moves up 10 cents, you made $500. If you get 20 cents, that's $1,000 day. So many of our watch lists, again, or our watch lists each week, they're 80, at least minimum 80% success ratio. Anywhere it's on 90, anywhere from 90% on up, and several of them move, you know, on a daily basis, anywhere 40, 50, 60 cents, $1 plus. So if you get 10, 15, 20 cents of that move, that's a really good move. So when everybody's distracted on the ones that are like blasting off on the day and you're chasing a pump and dump, our watch list, they go up. You can scalp your 10, 15, 20 cents, sometimes a couple times on that stock, right? If the market's running pretty good, you might get a good, you know, 10, 15, 20 cent scalp a couple times and really make your day. You can make your week as well. And then, you know, a couple times a month, you'll get a really great runner where you get a good position, you can ride it out, all right? So make your gains on those 10, 15, 20 cents daily, and then you'll hit your big 50 cent or $1 move a couple times a month, you know? So, again, pay close attention to our watch list. And that's why we use a combination between our watch list and also trade ideas, so that when our watch list isn't moving so hot or it's slowly grinding, you can catch the move on trade ideas and see what's running. So Carlos is saying, let me go to that one in 1 second. Why try to predict pump and dumps? Why not just pump low float stocks and catch the move? Seems easier than trying to apply technicals. Are you saying we should pump the stocks? I'm kind of curious, wondering what you mean by that, Carlos. If you're referring to us to pump them, we don't pump stocks. But again, it's so hard to predict when a stock is going to pump because you know, sometimes these charts are so terrible, and you could think, oh, okay, like I'll buy right at a bottom when that thing could still drop a lot further. SDLR has dropped for the last several days. Those types of stocks are hard to predict. Let's take a look. Or let's take a look at SING or hemp, SING. So SING, this has got a cup and handle, so this one might be trying to pump up again. So this is a cup and a handle pullback. So this one might be trying to pump up to maybe that, you know, 6.8 cent, 7 cent area. Again, we don't really go down as far as that. We kind of go from stocks from 30 cents on up. We don't want to see people get really trapped. But you can see a cup handle might be trying to break out. Some resistance between that 200 SMA to 7 cents. Hemp. Again, remember these stocks are pretty much garbage. They're pump and dumps. Again, this just pump and then dump, trading sideways, really doing nothing. Can it get a pump? Sure, if it can get above that 4.5 cent area. Let's take a look at SDLR. Not sure if you meant SLDR, maybe SLDR. I'm not sure. Neither one of those pulling up. Not sure if you have the right symbol there. ICNB. ICNB. Yeah, these are stocks I just don't put on. Just way too small. You can trade them again. Cup and handle-ish. Might get a pump up, you know, that 6 cents area. If it goes and, you know, you can see cup forming a handle. If it can go and break out above 6 cents. And let me see. ISBG. Yeah, another one. These are real garbage looking stocks. Again, patterns still apply, but it's just so tough. You could be like, you know, when do you know this thing's going to pump? Like, right? You just see, like, look at the choppiness, right? Just, it's garbage, you know? And just when you think, like, it might go and break out, you know, it could easily dump. So that's why we teach you guys the technicals, and you trade these ones. Oh, SDRL. Okay, yeah, 10 cents. So what is this? 10 cents, yeah. So SDRL, you can say, why not buy it right now because it's at 10 cents? Well, it's still falling, you know. You got to see a reversal. Look for a reversal to come in. So when you see a reversal come in and the buyers come in, it is far away from moving average line. So if you see a potential reversal on the daily, it might be a scalp. But don't look at this and be like, oh, this thing was 75 cents. Let me just buy it now because it's going to go back up to 74 cents. No, it's a piece of garbage company. It pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps, pumps and dumps. I don't know about it long term, but it ain't looking so hot. You know, again, just because I think this is part of the oil sector. You know, when you see these, like even like hemp, right? Everybody's like, ah, hemp is part of the Canadian pot stocks, right? Well, just because pot stocks move or oil stocks move doesn't mean the garbage companies inside of them are going to be great long term. They might pump up and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump, but you know, you have to be very careful, right? Choose good companies. You can make great money trading them, but you know, these stocks, right? This, I mean, look, just pumps and dumps. I know nothing about SDRL, but I can tell you the charts show it's a pump and dump, now it's just dumping. Again, long term. You know what I mean, I don't know anything about SDRL, but it's a 10-cent company now. So have to be very careful. All right, back to the watch list. So ARWR broke out. Right from that 1419 area. Now at 1493 is the high. Let's look at the weekly chart. It's at weekly highs. I mean, it's still going up, but it's so overextended. Let's look at the daily. So this is one I would say, oh, it's a bit overextended. It might want to pull back, but it could still have another continuation day. So right when you're caught off, when it's overextended, you have to be careful because it could go up, continue up, or it could pull back. So it's hard to choose a direction. So I'm going to leave that one alone for now. CDMO, nope. No, don't like it. LEE. No. Alright, so this one, SENS. You can see a gap between 450 to 454 on the daily. Let's take a look at the hourly. Price is above the moving average lines on the hourly. So this one might have a, and it's kind of bull flagging, so it might continue up. So let's take a look at the daily again. What's this? The gap at 455-ish area. So it's got some room to run if it can fill the gap and continue up. Watch if price can fill the gap around 456 and continue upwards. So I want to see it fill that gap right around that 456 area and continue movement up. It's got some room to run if it can. SENS. I don't like it for the 10-cent move. I like it to see if it can go and continue upwards and continue. Like I said, probably about $5. Between 5 to 5.29. If it can fill that gap, it's got some room to run. Speaking of run, now you have run. This is a pattern I like to see potentially because you can see right around that 1435 is resistance. You can see hourly might be setting up for a potential breakout. So this one, let's see if there's resistance. 1495 if it can break out. Big cut pattern. So let's do this. Big big cup pattern on weekly. Watch if price can get above 1435 with resistance at 1495. Big cut pattern. So big cut pattern. See if it can get above that 1438. Let me just do that. Above 1438. So if it can get above that 1438 area, it's got some room up to 1495. Again, when you see these ones, guys, like when everybody's, again, no saying this is going to go up. It is a bit overextended with run. But, you know, when you see a stock like these and they move up, you know, everybody's distracted with what's running on the, you know, trade idea scanner or whatever high-a-day scanner you're using. You can see something like this, you know, if it can break above 1435, if it can run up to 1490, you know, 5 or so, that's a potential 60-cent move. Not saying it's going to, but if it breaks out, you know, if if you had 1,000 share of this and it goes up 60 cents, that's a $600 move, right? And it's probably going to be a slower grind move. It's a higher float stock. So that's why we don't discount these higher to medium float stocks as well, because these things can move and break out and have a decent run, and you could potentially play them a little safer than you can with some of the pump and dumps, right? So we try to give you guys a healthy mix on the watch list. You'll see some of them low float, lower float, then higher float, and then here's a medium, right? Potential reversal. Let's see. 391. So what is this right here? 423 resistance. So you can see kind of an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's got some potential. You can see it might be doing a reversal. Some support here, resistance right around the 420s. So this one might be a potential reversal. Let's go to the hourly. It's trading sideways, but you can see super oversold. So see if buyers will come in and push price above the probably 420s area. You guys see right around that 420 marker. I just don't like it right now. Got some room, but dries, garbage. So John says BLKCF. I mean, it's garbage. You know, blockchain. Blockchain is very hot right now. Yeah, let's go take a look at that. I'm not to sound insulting, but still not looking so hot. Now we got to readdress. It's getting a pump right up to the. Let's redo these lines here on Bitcoin. It's getting a pump again. Let's draw the lines. So you had a line there. You can do it back over in here. Come on. Right here, there, and then also connect the base. Look at that, it created a new low here the other day, or it actually retested. So now it's right here. This thing needs to break out. Can it break out? Sure, but it's got a long ways to go. It's in a descending triangle. So again, it's getting a pump. Until this thing reverses and starts breaking the pattern, it's still in a descending triangle. Not looking so hot. ELF. Possible reversal pattern right here. Got some resistance right around 17 bucks. I don't think I'm going to put that one on. Let's look at the hourly on this one. So if this, trying to see if this one can get, it's getting close to that 200 SMA, a possible double bottom. If it can run, you know, 450, then there's some resistance probably around $4. You're welcome, John. Not trying to be insulting. It's just the Bitcoin. It's just, it's a crapshoot. Right now, it's in a descending triangle, and all these stocks that run with it, these small cap ones, are just pump and dumps. So you got to be careful. That BLKCF, that could easily pump, but right now it's just the chart's looking kind of garbage. Don't like this one. kind of got a head, a left shoulder, possibly the right shoulder. Might be reversing, but not really liking that pattern right now. ENPH. Kind of has an inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Maybe trying to break above that 720. If it can, there's 755 resistance. You know, so this is what I'm trying to talk to you guys about, right? So this is a perfect example. You know, 720 to 755. It's got a potential 35-cent move. You could be like, oh, big deal. Who cares about that? I want to hit a home run. Well, you know, if you got in on something like this and it moves up 35 cents, but you can scalp 20 or 25 cents out of it, that's a pretty good move, right? You know, you could look at the pattern, inverse head and shoulders, look for a breakout, see if it can move up. You know, if this thing can move 35 cents or so, you can go in there and take your, again, there's no guarantee what it'll do, but you can go in there and, you know, out of 35 cents, even if you got half, even if you got 15 cents, you know, if you got 15 cents, you bought 2,000 shares, that's 30 cents. What is that? It's $300 a day, you know, not so bad, you know. And it's a higher float, so less likely that it pumps and dumps. You can safely manage your risk a little bit more. So that's why we have our watch list right here for stuff like this. You can see a pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, room to run, up to here. You might be able to go in and scalp a piece of that and, you know, stay away from a lot of the herd, you know. So only trade with the herd when you know how to trade. Don't trade the low float pump and dump stocks if you're new and you don't know how to trade. You have to be able to find these patterns and setups first. Then you can go and trade the low float ones when you know how to trade these patterns. So this one right here, inverse head and shoulders on 1 hour. Watch if price can get above 720 with resistance at 755. You guys see that? So ENPH, put that down here. So think about it, right? So if you're in the morning and you're trying to scalp, you know, you're day trading and you're trying to scalp 10 or 15 cents, right? 20 cents. Use your account as leverage. If you're going against the herd every morning, you know, pretty much every top guru on the planet is going to look at the top 3 to 5 gapping stocks with news that are low float, and everybody's going to be watching those, right? So if you're new, what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck at the top, like most of the new traders, while basically the guru is selling at the top. So when they're selling at the top, you're ending up buying, right? And that's hence why the pumping and the dumping. Somebody has to bag hold when the stock dumps, and typically, obviously, it's going to be newer traders, right? So very simply, if I call out a trade that I'm in some pump and dump stock, whatever, just say, let's take a look at probably RRTS, let's say. Or maybe, let's go back to SDRL, actually. SDRL, that's probably a good example. So, yeah, it's a perfect example, right? So who is trapped up here? It's not a guru. The gurus are not trapped up here. It's the new trader. The guru is pumping up down here and they're selling up here. So by the time it's pumping up, you know, you can see 1, 2, 3 green days and then it's selling off, right? Pump, pump, and then kind of dumping right up in here. So gurus, you know, not all of them obviously, or chat room services, they're pumping up the stock. This right here is showing the new traders getting stuck, right? So my whole point being is if you're trying to scalp, you know, what are you trying to make on the stock like this, right? First of all, don't try to swing trade a stock like these small cap pump and dump stocks. Terrible, because you don't know, like, I mean, this thing, they just pump and dump. So you can say, well, hey, I'm going to buy right here because the stock is flatlining up, right? It pumped and it came back down, so it's trading sideways. So I should buy here, right? It's found support. Well, not necessarily, right? The thing just goes and dumps, right? So you can see pump and dump, pump and dump. So when you could think that a stock's just going to trade sideways like this, oh, it's getting ready to pump right over here, like right here, it's going to break out and pump, right? Well, look at the next day. It just went and it dumped. So this is why trying to swing trade these is very, very difficult. But you can make really good money on the pump on the way up. You just have to know where resistance is, and you have to be able to locate these candles and these reversal candles. That's why learning support and resistance is incredibly important. Let's go back to the watch list here. VKTX, nope. So my whole point being is when we're making our watch list, if you're trying to scalp 10, 15, 20 cents on a pump and dump, you know, you can scalp 10, 20 cents on our watch list every single day. So much easier. Get comfortable trading it, and then go over and trade the pump and dumps when you know how to trade. But don't go and trade those low float stocks and try to go against the best traders in the world every single day if you're not able to trade a medium to low float stock first, or a medium to higher float stock. The same patterns that you're going to find on low float stocks, you're going to find on high float stocks as well, right? So Dan and I, we both have contrasting. We're different traders, right? So Dan really likes trading the low float stocks. I'm more of a medium to high float stock guy, right? Doesn't mean one's a better style than the other. It's just their comfort level. I like low risk. I like low risk, right? I like to manage my risk. I like to keep my stops no more than like 10 cents. I like to have a 10 cent or less stop. So in order for me to have a stop that way, you know, I either have to get an unbelievable entry on a small cap stock, like a perfect entry. It's tough to get 10 cents or less on a low floater because the candles typically sometimes are 20, 25 cents or more. So Carlos says the best traders in the world trade the best stocks with the best fundamentals. Well, depending on what you're saying, what you mean by best traders, right? So day traders don't trade the best stocks with the best fundamentals. Day traders trade the worst stocks they don't care about the fundamentals. They're technical traders or trying to scalp. So, you know, if it's all relative, right? So day traders, you know, some of the best gurus out there, if they might be making $1,000, $2,000 a day trading really crappy pump and dump stocks, and they're great traders, right? There's other people that trade really great fundamentals, and they're more longer term or swing traders. It all depends what type of trader you are, you know. So it is kind of relative. Not saying you're wrong. I get what you're saying, but you know, also fundamentals lay a trail of the technicals. So you want to use a healthy combination of fundamentals and technicals. And just because the fundamentals look good does not mean the technicals look good. So we try to teach. Well, we're teaching more of the technicals here. Tim is more longer term. Tim does a lot of the fundamentals long term. But remember, the fundamentals leave the trail of the technicals, so it's a good, healthy combination of both. But if you're technical trading, again, you're day trading, you're in and out, you're not even really caring about the fundamentals. You're looking at support, resistance, in and out, in and out. That's why we say don't hold these small cap stocks, you know, long term, or look, you can't even really swing trade many of these. They pump and they dump. You're going in on these small cap stocks, looking to scalp, to get in, and to get out. Let's see here. Nope. Wow, look at that. Speaking of which, look at this aftermarket. 410, right? It is pretty bad still, but that's a huge red candle down. That's where you got to be careful with these things, these small cap stocks. Holding them more like than overnight, or, you know, got to be careful. And here's one where you could have held right at the end of the day, right here, holding its highs on the day, then bam, it just dumped. See that? Holding its highs, boom, just dumps. All right, so John says, what do you think of one of my favorites, CHK? I think that's Chesapeake Energy, right? Yep, so chart's a bit messy right now. High is at 544. Some support down here around 520. Some more support around here around $5. Indecision mode right now. Could easily pull back to this 9 EMA. So it is running bullish. Bit overextended, kind of pulling back a little bit. These crazy spinning top doji candles showing some indecision. The hourly not looking so hot. Bearish on the hourly, could easily fall. So now you have the moving average line separating, heading downwards. So right now it's looking kind of bearish on the hourly, kind of a double top. Top here, or a double top here, starting to fail. Could easily fall back, fall down to the moving average lines. So it's looking kind of bearish at the moment. You know, that 504-ish area, right in between this 9 and the 13. If it starts to fail that, I'd be concerned. And it's not looking so hot on the hourly right now either. All right, so let's keep going. A little too close to resistance, around $3. I liked the pattern. So it kind of has a cup and handle-ish. See, it's got some resistance right around $3. Big kind of cup and handle. Let's look at the hourly. It is above the moving average lines. So here's one again, an example of. So here's one that has some room just to show you guys. Sometimes we'll put these on and see, well, 282 up to 302. That's got a potential of, you know, 20 cents. Big deal. It's a higher float, slower grind. But here's one where you might be able to sneak in and make, you know, this thing might move 20 cents, but you might be able to get 10, 12, 13 cents out of it off a slower grind, you know. So now what if you bought 5,000, not saying to do it, but if you bought 5,000 shares of a higher float stock, it moves up 20 cents, but you scalped 10 cents out of that 20 on a slower grind, you just made $500. You guys see how to do that right here? You know, 282 has the potential to go up to 302. That's a potential of 20 cents. Chances are you're not going to stay in the whole time if it goes up. You can see an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So it's got that potential to go up, might be forming a cup. So here's where you can go in where probably most people are not paying attention. They're all paying attention to all the stocks hitting trade ideas and all the scanners. And there you can go and maybe scalp 10 cents. You know, buy 5,000 shares, let it slowly grind, scalp 10 cents out of it, you made $500. All right? Or if you have a bigger account, you bought 10,000 shares, right? So you have an account over $25,000, you know, and you're over the PDT rule. You can go on this thing, you bought 10,000 shares and you scalped 10 cents. There's your $1,000 on the day. So that's just, again, a ways to show you guys that, you know, you could be away from the herd, a higher, you know, float stock, go in and scalp, you know, potentially 10 cents. And you made $1,000 that day. That's a 200 and, what is that? 200 and something thousand a year. What is that? I don't even know. That's over $200,000 a year. Scalping 10 cents on a high float. Slow grinder, less likely to dump. So again, if you like the lower floats, go and trade them. I like 140 million. That's kind of a little bit higher than me, but I like the sweet spot of 50 to 100 million float, the medium to higher float. But again, here's one right here, a really high floater that just might slowly grind where you might be able to pick off 10 cents. All right, and call it a day. So Malcolm says, Lucian, loaded question, but when do you really know when you are ready to trade real money? I've been just practicing on stimulation. Yeah, it is kind of loaded, but here's what we try to teach people. Always treat your virtual account just like you would a real account. Once you've done that and you trade with you know, a 60 to 65% win ratio, and you've made a couple hundred trades in a virtual account, then you go to real money and you start small and scale your way up. Never trade right away with real positions with real money with what you would trade regularly. So meaning, if you're ideally going to end up trading real money in the real world with 1,000 share positions, right? Let's say that's how you're going to trade normally. That means in your virtual account, never trade more than 1,000 shares, right? Why would you trade more than 1,000 shares in a virtual account if you're never going to do that with real money? You're just not doing good trading discipline. So if you're going to trade in the real world with 1,000 shares, trade in your virtual account with 1,000 shares. Trade it exactly the same way, never budge. If you're going to have a 10-cent stop in the real world, never give yourself more than a 10-cent stop in a virtual account. Treat it exactly as you would a real account. Then when you trade with real money, you don't go and trade with 1,000 share blocks right away. Start off with 100. And you can say, well, why would I do that? I'm wasting money on commission fees. Well, you're better off wasting some money on some commission fees than blowing up your brokerage account trading on emotions. So trade with 100 shares, block for a week or two, and practice on trying to make your commission back, right? So if you're with TD or something like that, and you're getting $5, trades, so it costs you, let's say, $10 to get in and out of a trade, then practice trying to make, what is it, 100 times 10 cents? What is that, 10 bucks? So practice trying to make 10 cents on a 100 share block so you break even on your commission trades, right, on your commissions. Don't try to make money right away. Try to break even, because if you're making 10 cents on 100 shares, then you'd make 10 cents on 1,000 shares. So you want to scale your way up. So once you're doing still the 60 to 65% win ratio on 100 shares, then go to 250 shares. Then go to 500, then to maybe 750, then up to 1,000. Slowly scale your way up. But if you're making 10 cents on 100 shares, you can make 10 cents on 1,000, 10 cents on 5,000. You just have to be able to control your emotions throughout the process with higher positions. Hopefully that helps you. All right, so all that to say, I didn't put that on. Well, am I? Yeah, it's a little bit too close to resistance. I wish I had a little bit more room. But that was just showing you guys that you can make. Do I want to put it on? Let me look at this one real quick. No. Yeah. Dave says, "What's up, Dave? Welcome back, buddy." Correct. So Dave says, "Start small, start small, start small." Correct. Dave's learned that lesson. Bullish Bears, Dan says, "Big thing is to make sure your winning ratio is 60% or better and get the mechanics down." For sure. I'll be right back, guys, and then I'll do the swing trade watch list. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, so let's go into the swing trade watch list for tomorrow. Guys, as you can see, it's pretty much like dark in the background here. So it's dark because it's hot outside. Got the AC on. I do not like the cold, but I don't want to complain about the hot. I said I'm not going to complain about the heat when it gets hot. And then it just doesn't go, like in Connecticut, it doesn't just go from like, oh, it's going to be like cold and some nice weather. It either goes from cold to just ridiculously hot. So whatever, I'll deal with the ridiculously hot. But I laid out in the sun earlier today. My throat's all dry now. So then I'm drinking a lot more water. Talking to you guys, right? Poor me. So all that to say, that's why I went and got a drink of water. Because I'm thirsty. All right, so let's go to swing trades. See if there's anything to look at. Oops. So I liked how this one's holding its highs. You can see some resistance right around that 33.85 marker. It's a little bearish on the 1 minute, like it's pulling back. Let me take a look at the hourly, though. And it's right up and then right back down. I don't like that. So I think I'm going to skip that one. Correct. Paul says, Lucian, don't you have to define your risk, how much you're willing to lose before you can figure out your share size in any trade? Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, so going back to that example, guys, if you're trying to make 10 cents, don't just be like, oh, let's make 10 cents. Like, don't risk 50 cents to make 10, right? So exactly what Paul's saying is 100% true. We say this all the time. Have at least a 2-to-1 profit-loss ratio. So if you're risking 10 cents, make sure you have the ability to make 20. So don't risk 50 cents on a stop for the ability to make 10. So again, if you're risking 10 cent stop, you have to have the ability or the potential to make at least 20. Right? So at least a 2-to-1. Ideally, you want more, 3-to-1 or more, but again, at least a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio with at least a 60 to 65% win ratio. All right, so BC. This one's holding its highs, has some room to run above the moving average lines, might be looking to cross. Let's take a look at the hourly. It's above the 200 SMA, kind of has a double bottom pattern, bottom, has some room up to that $69 area. Some resistance maybe around the 67-ish marker, between 67 to 69. So this is one I would look at. So now I would go over to the options chains for you guys and see, is there high open interest? There is some right here. Bid-ask spread, borderline. Really borderline. I like to have it 15 cents or less. This one's about 25 cents. 20 cents. It's right on the border. Lots of open interest. If it got a little bit tighter, this is one to look at. You can see between, what is this here, 67.60 to 69.27. It's got some room to run. I would consider putting BC on the watch list. I like to see a little bit tighter bid-ask spread and more availability for options. Yeah, it's a little borderline, but it's one to keep an eye on. So what is this? 67.67. So there's the potential for it to move about $1 or so before it hits resistance, and if it can hit and get above that, it's it's still got some room to run. So 67.60 to 69.27. So what is this? So watch for potential continuation with resistance between 67 6Ds to 69.27. So put BC on. I'd like to see, if you're doing options on it, a little bit tighter bid-ask spread. Gotta watch and see if there's an opportunity. So yeah, Dan is definitely a lot more techier. He's a little bit more like, he's got all the good stuff, his fib lines, all that good stuff. So Dan's definitely a lot more like, really, he's definitely a sniper. And he can go really in and on those low float stocks, and he's really awesome at sniping. Me personally, I like the candlesticks, moving average lines, medium to higher float, scout my 10, 15, 20 cents, stay away from the herd, small, risking less than 10 cents on my trade, clearly define risk. If I'm risking 10 cents, I got to have the ability to make 20. So that's my way of how I'm trading. You should still do that way, even if you're trading low float. You should still do all of those mental checks. But Dan's able to do that, and he likes going in there on the low floaters and doing it. And that's his style. Just like many other day traders, you know, that's their style. But me personally, I'd rather go in on, like, you know, hypothetically, like I'd rather go in on, you know, 10,000 shares of a stock, scalp 10 cents of a medium or higher float stock, stay away from all halts, not worry about halts, not worry about the herd, get in, like again, on that one like I was showing you with Nat earlier, right? So going back over to Nat, this would be more my style. Like this would be one where I would go in on Nat and be like, okay, let me put in $10,000, you know, buy 10,000 shares, right? Put in 30,000, right? On a stock like this. Obviously, I'm not going to hold it long term, right? So I'd buy 10,000 shares of a $3 stock. That's a higher float stock, right? You know, it was 140 million float. And I'd say, okay, I'd be willing to get in on something like, again, if the pattern was a little bit better tomorrow, and go in and be like, hey, I scalped my 10 cents. That's my $1,000 for the day. Meanwhile, the majority of the population could care less about this 20-cent move. They're like, I don't even care about that. Like, that's whatever. And they're chasing GBR or whatever the heck that one was today. What was that, GBR? They're chasing the higher float. Boom, boom. So meanwhile, you know, Dan, he might go in and he might be able to scalp really quick 30 cents. And I might only be able to, you know, he might be able to scalp 30 cents in 2 minutes. And I might be sitting there for 45 minutes to grind out 10 cents on my trade. So, but if the trade goes against Dan, right, he has the potential to lose $1 or more or get caught in a halt on the way up or on the way down. Whereas Nat, chances are me getting caught in a halt like this, probably slim to none. So, again, a matter of your trading style. That's why we teach you guys different contrasting trading styles. You know, but me, I'm happy right here. If I scaled in on this, made 10 cents, and I made $1,000 for a day, and I'm not chasing the herd, that's cool with me. Again, no right or wrong way, but the right way is proper risk management and defining your risk on every trade. Very important. All right, so BX, let's see here. Some resistance right around that 3350s area, kind of bull flagging. Let's take a look at the daily. Might have some room to run. You can see these moving average lines pinching, maybe looking to cross. Now let's take a look at here. So now, okay, this is the stuff that I'm looking for. Lots of open interest. Tight bid-ask spreads. You can see 6 cents. You can see 10 cents. You can see 17, or what is that? That's a little bit higher. 14 cents. 18 cents. A little bit higher, but somewhere here, right? You can see this one, 6 cents. 5 cents. So I like to see a tight bid-ask spread. Again, doesn't mean just because we're doing, I'm trying to, again, just because we're putting it on doesn't mean, hey, go buy an option for it. I want to see, is there liquidity? Is there a tight bid-ask spread? Does it have the potential to move up? Yes to a lot of those things. Again, there are spreads you can buy. Don't just buy a straight call or a straight put on something without knowing options. Take our options course if you need to know options. But that's when I'm looking to add something onto the swing trade watch list for you. I'm trying to see, is there room to run? Is there liquidity? How are the option spreads? I go through that and I say, well, okay, this is one to look at. So watch. Come on. Watch for potential continuation and see if price can get above the 33.50-ish above. Get above the 33.50-ish area for BX. This one's kind of a double bottom, 25.50. Yeah, it's a little bit too near resistance than I want. So there's some resistance right around 62 bucks here with CERN. Moving average lines are pinching, maybe trying to cross over. On the hourly, price is above the moving average line, so there's room to run. Some open interest, 10-cent spread, 5-cent spread, 15 cents, 15 cents. So this is one to consider. So I think I'm going to take off, what was the one before I didn't like? Is it Brunswick? Yeah, I might get rid of this one right here. What was the one I was just looking at? Son of a gun. Dang it. Was it this one? Sabre? Or CERN? What was the one I was just looking at? I think it was this one right here. CERN. Yeah, so we'll put this one on. See if you can get above 62 bucks. Again, 61.16 to 62. There's some room for it to run right now. It's potential 80 cents to run before it hits some resistance. So watch for potential continuation with resistance around $62. CERN. No. No. Let me try one or two more scans and see. Again, nothing great. Again, remember, the market is in this crazy yo-yo mode, and it's not choosing a direction lately. So ZTO, possible. Let's take a look at this one a little further. This kind of throws me off a little bit right here. I'd potentially look at it, kind of an inverse head and shoulders-ish. Let me take a look at the hourly or the daily again. Might be trying to reverse. Not a whole heck of a lot of room to run. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't love it. Really high float. I'll go back to ZTO if I don't find anything else. So this one right here, take a look at the hourly. So 35.20 resistance, Yeah, it's still kind of close. A little too close to resistance for me. Head and shoulders, head, kind of left shoulder, right shoulders-ish. Too close to resistance for me at that 200 SMA. Now, cup and handle-ish. Big kind of cup and handle, really all over the place. So 123 resistance. Needs to get above that 120.45 area right here. Let's take a look at the hourly. So this one may be trying to get right over here. If it can break 120, it's got some room to 123. Open interest, 20-cent spread, a little bit, I'd like it a little bit tighter, 30-cent spread here. It's borderline, but it is also a higher price stock. So if this can break above 120, it's got some room to 123. So I'm going to put that one on. If it could break above 120.34 area. Watch if price can get above 120 area with room to run up towards 123. All right, TTWO. All right, so that'll be it for both watch lists. Again, kind of like an in-between. Going back to what we were talking about again earlier, guys, look at the markets. Futures, go back over to futures. Again, bouncing off of angular support, this green hammer. That's a good sign, potentially, if you're bullish, but it's still got all of this resistance overhead. And as you can see, it's just going up, hitting the moving average lines, fall back down, goes back up, hits the moving average lines, comes back down. Now we'll have to see what's going on. The yo-yo effect. But again, remember, this yo-yo effect and this indecision inside of a symmetrical triangle affects stocks. So that affects potential trades. That's why many times it's a little bit safer to day trade because you're able to pick a direction, whereas you might try to go swing trade and then you're just getting caught in these yo-yo effects. That's why spreads you know, are very, very important with trading options, not necessarily just buying calls or puts. You might have to day trade your option or have only hold for maybe a day or so. It's tough to hold longer term when the market's doing the yo-yo like this with swing trading. So be very, very careful. That's why we say don't just trade our watch list and buy just because our alerts go off, right? So again, if you haven't joined us yet, if you're following us on YouTube, you go right over here. We are the Bullish Bears on Facebook. You'll see here we have a group of over 30,000 members. So make sure you come and join us if you haven't yet. Our link is below. Also, make sure you like and follow our fan page. This is a great way to stay in touch with us and see when we post updates. Just because when we post on Facebook on our group, sometimes it's hard to kind of get our notifications when you have so many people posting. So make sure you like and follow our fan page as well. And head over to our website. We have a day trading room, a swing trading room, a futures room. So great places to learn and practice trading. Again, read our trade alerts and how they work with our watch list in conjunction with them. Don't buy something just because it's on the watch list or because an alert goes off. Read about how our alerts work. If you're new, we have thousands of dollars worth of free courses. We have all of them up pretty much on our YouTube channel. So just click on whatever corresponding course you want to learn from and then kind of start from A to Z and really practice and learn. Again, this will keep you busy for months and it'll save you a car payment a month on getting started with learning the stock market. We also have our members only videos, private members only content for those who are members. And each day you'll see here under screen sharing, if you're a member, Oh, I logged out. Darn it. All right. So you would log in right here, and under screen sharing, you'd see right down here, this is where we share our trade ideas link each day and our live market sharing. So when the market opens, we shut down YouTube usually, and then you could see our live screen sharing over here. So we do trade ideas, which is a $120 a month scanner. We share our scanner each day, so you can try it before you buy it, and then we do our live screen sharing in here. So we make it simple, guys. You log in each day before 9:15 each day. You get your trade ideas and our live screen sharing link over here, and then you just come in and you practice, trade whatever trade room, you know, talk to people in our trade rooms, and practice, right? Practice until you feel comfortable trading. And as you can see, if you click the subscribe button, we are only $10 per month or $99 for the year. So choose your option, either the cost of an Amazon Prime membership or the cost of a Netflix payment. Just make it very simple for you guys. And just bringing your attention to a couple other things. The links are below, but you can see Trade Ideas is our favorite scanner of choice. They actually have, I just saw before, let me do this. This might be easier to show you guys, because there's some promotions going on. Trade Ideas and Benzinga both have really big sales going on right now. So you can save 25%. So basically the links are below, and if you can see right over here, the discount code right here is 4th of July sale. So if you click on either one of our banners, so if you're looking to buy Trade Ideas, 25% is usually, it's their typical sale that they run. Once in a blue moon, they might do 30. I see it's kind of rare, more of 25%. So as you can see, we get you a typical discount of 15%, but now they have a deal of 25%. So if you're on the fence with buying Trade Ideas, now is probably a good time to buy it. You can click on either one of our links. We'll get credit as a community. And then if you buy Trade Ideas, just enter in 4th of July sale. And that'll be your promo code to get 25% off. It's one time. So that's the thing with Trade Ideas. You get a better deal if you purchase the year ahead of time. So it's 25% either off of 1 month or 25% off of your yearly purchase. So obviously you get a better deal if you purchase the year. Don't buy a scanner and don't buy any tools if you don't have the money, again. But if you have the money and the budget and you're on a fence, now's a good time for Trade Ideas. Plus they have a nice little banner here. I like it. Benzinga, great newswire product that we like to use. We get you a typical or a good 40% off discount. This is off their Essentials package, which is their upgraded package. They have a $99 or a $249 package. But right now, so you would get you 40% off of the. They do it off of their top package of $249, not off their $99. Obviously, because they want you to buy their upgraded package. But as you can see over here, same thing, 50% off for life with Benzinga Pro. You can try it out over here, and if you like it, they have a promo going on right now. You can see it's $99 or $249, but you can see 50% off sale with the promo code July 4th. So it's 50% off of this, which is $125. So obviously you can look, oh, $99 for the basic or $125. That's why most people would end up going for this one, because it has the squawk, the reading out of the news, all the features. So bottom line, you know, if you're looking to get Benzinga, now is a great time to get it for 50% off, when typically we have a 40% off promo. So hey, it's 4th of July. Both Trade Ideas and Benzinga are having great sales. So the links are below if you want to get either one of those tools. Again, don't buy them if you don't have the budget, but if you're on, you know, you're starting to get some money, now's the time to pick up those products. The links are below. All right, guys, so you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll be sending out this watch list shortly. We'll see you in the morning. Enjoy.